Welcome, peeps. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Endless Quest 12. I am a judge for the RPG Maker Game Jam 2025. This is our last game for the night, I think. Alright, options. Okay, no options needed. I don't know why there's no new game, but I guess continue. Oh, because it's endless, I get it. Is this going to be a comedy game? Continue. Welcome back, player. Throw room 3. Okay, that's unexpected. Endless Quest 12. Dying is just a state of mind. I think that's quite a funny joke that you can only continue because it's an endless quest. Oh, so we're like in the middle of like the battle. This is the end of your reign of terror, Demon King. I swear my name. Is this what's his name? Zach? I will strike you down. And is this what's I don't know, Hilda? What happened to Endless Quest 1 through 11? We played them all on stream, remember, Ram? We played them within the past, like, couple hours. Oh, a couple days, sorry. I had a 2-day long stream. I don't know. Ha ha ha. The end? While strength yet courses through my veins, I shall be your reckoning. Is that a smile? Or is that something on top of its head, like something lives in there? Your foolishness ends here, invaders. Master's cheat sheet. Combat tutorial. Use Z and X. Okay. Whoa. That's a big jump in, wait, what? I'm not controlling anything. Oh, I am now. Okay. It's blurry and in front, I don't know. It didn't tell me how to play. It just said up, right, down, and Z and X, but I didn't actually pay attention to what was behind it. It's a card game. Bless. Gain 5 HP in the next 2 standby phases. Okay, we don't need that, I think. Remove one of your enemy's cards. Okay, but I don't know what to remove. Make your enemy redraw their hand. Why would I want to do that? Reveal your enemy. Okay, maybe, but I don't know how to play yet, so why would I want to reveal their hand? I have such useless cards. Bless, I guess. I'm blessed by Ver. Okay. Yeah, I want to pick up cards though because yeah, I want to remove one of their cards, I guess. Trim your enemy's forces. Okay. Oh, doesn't matter which one I pick? Just pick one at random. Oh, wait. Unless they show their hand, then I can destroy a particular card, I guess. How do I draw? I want to reveal my enemy's hand, I guess. Gaze into my enemy's soul. Well, was that their one? I feel observed. Tie. Oops, what happened there? Oh, wait. Oh, if I press X at any time. Okay. Blue, triangle strong against circle, strong against square. If it's a draw, then we'll shield it next turn. Destroy my enemy's plans. Okay. I guess I just use Bless then. I guess this is how it's endless. Both side never damages. Oh, is that why? No, they've damaged me. Extra damage. I'm being overwhelmed. Okay. Or maybe they haven't. All your cards in your hand become circle. Yeah, but what does that do? Remove one of your enemy's cards. On my next... Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, Doggo. Maybe it's just there's nothing that actually attacks, you know? Why would I have a menu here that's like a reveal? Because I have to reveal. Your forces have been trimmed, yeah. This is the rock, paper, scissors with extra steps. Sort of, yeah. Sort of. I guess so. I gotta reveal my enemy's hand. Okay, they have a triangle, triangle, square. I guess that's the thing that matters. Triangle, triangle, square. Okay, so they have triangle, triangle, square. It's good against my circle, so I have to get rid of their triangle. I forgot which way it was going. Redraw, of course, redraw your hand. Oh man. Triangle's good against circle. It's a little bit awkward, this, you know, okay, the square, I don't know, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Tie, yeah, it's rock, paper, scissors, and then this one here, make them redraw their hand. But I don't know how to, like, triangle beat circle, yeah, it is rock, paper, scissors, yeah. But, like, I don't yet know how to manage things in a way that makes sense. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it's this. Boom, 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 boom. Actually, you actually wish the builders didn't move. This card's UI is already confusing enough. Wow. Yeah, I think because there's no shadows behind the cards, and it's just the UI is quite unconventional for a game like this. I'll just say that much, because it's got this raw circle up here, not on the card, and it's quite pixelated, and you know, this is really charming, sure, but it just, I don't know, something about it is quite difficult to understand. My timer isn't moving. Oh, I didn't start the timer. What I'll do is, it says down here 0. On my recording, it says I spent 6 minutes, but I spent maybe about a minute of that not doing anything. So we'll set it to 5 minutes past. Thank you for noticing that, Pudding. So maybe reveal my enemy's hand. Okay, let's see what they have. Circle, triangle, triangle, circle. Okay, I'll write that down. Circle, triangle, triangle, circle. Which means... I've got all triangles, which is good against them, so I shouldn't make them become circle. Oh, they're still open, so I can see it. Maybe I'll remove the one of the triangles. I'll remove that one. See? There we go. So now I've only got triangles, and they've got only circles, which is good. But I don't want to make my ones a circle. I want to keep my triangles, you know? Wait, where did that super shuffle come from? Oh, did they just redraw their hand or something? Why is my hand... Oh, they just made everyone have different hands. See, I can't really strategize because it's just too chaotic. Like, they just go, okay, we're going to change everyone's hands, you know? So I can't even strategize at all. Make your enemy redraw their hand. I don't see the strategy, that's all. It's kind enough, but it's like I'm not sure if I see how I could strategize around such a randomized sort of setup. But that's just me. Maybe I'm not good at this. Interesting enough idea, though. Okay, trade. Both you and your enemy redraw one card from their hand. So much for going to sleep at a normal time. Yeah, welcome in, Panda. How's it going? This is a normal time for me, though, Panda. Gotta admit. Like, if I go to sleep after this... Oh, sub, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Appreciate it so much. Thank you, Panda. I don't know why the music isn't happening for that. Oh, it's because it keeps turning off again. I'm so sorry. But yeah, welcome in, Panda. Hopefully you're doing well. It's so loud in here. Where's my sound alerts? Why was it so quiet? Pretty sure I have a gain on it as well. Yeah, I have gain on it as well. It just didn't go. Oh, welcome in. How you doing, Panda? Yeah, man, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. Deal damage with my next attack. I'm just gonna use any card because why not, you know? I'm surrounded. Oh, okay. Reveal the enemy's hand, I guess, is a good one because then I get to see circle, triangle, circle. Going all good's only woke up 2 hours ago. Nice, nice. Nice. It is what it is, you know? We gotta, you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. Destroy enemies' plans. Yeah. Overwhelm the enemy. Yeah. So hard to pay attention to how this is all kind of going down, you know? Oof. What's the plan for today, Panda? What are you up to? It's gained some HP. And this battle is going on for quite a while. If it's an intro battle, it's supposed to maybe introduce the battle system, but it's kind of going on for a while to the point where I don't know if I'm learning much about how to strategize in this game. Usually you learn how to strategize and manage your hand and stuff, and I've played games, you know, like Slay the Spire and such. I've played a few roguelike deck builder games that usually have some control over where you sort of, you know... Oh, you're meant to be asleep, but you woke up? Ah, shame. It's a shame. Well, I said shame. I shouldn't say shame, you know, like that. I shouldn't say shame, but I guess I just did. But, you know, sometimes you just wake up and things happen, you know, unfortunately. Hopefully this music isn't riling you up to go to a rave or something, you know. Imagine going to a rave at this hour, you know, on a weekday, on a weeknight. I really want to join you all on Repo next time, because Repo is pretty fun. Repo is really fun. I hope you have a good meeting, though. I hope you get paid. Bet there'll be so many people there as well. True. Yeah. We just go to the local BP. They have the raves at the BP parking lot. I don't know. Might see Dayhamor there or something. Might see I don't know. Might see Sonny Bill Williams. Oh yeah, we won. We won. Okay. Ah, I failed you. Oh, there's a door behind them. Okay. ... Did we do it? It seems like it. That door, something isn't right. I guess we'll have to figure out what it is. What isn't right, everybody? Wait, once you open it, there will be no return. Ha, return. I have no way to return to. Because it's an endless quest, we can still create a place for us to return to together. You know, I believe that fate, destiny, whatever you want to call it, exists. Every person lives and dies in search of purpose. Hope, that's what I call mine. I marched in search of a better tomorrow, yet in this exact moment the only thing I feel is uncertainty, a fear. Will my actions be justified? Did I make the right choices? Who am I really? 1,000 more questions flood my head. It's like what you get at the end of an RPG when you've learned all about their, you know, backstory and such. For ours is a journey without end, and perhaps that's exactly the reason why I must continue to march. We'll carry on. We'll carry on. I will be by your side until the end. Isn't that what I promised you? Thank you, milady. One last moment of courage, then. Open the door. Thank you, milady. Oh, there's eyes in there. And they see. Ah, hero. Waiting for a prize, I assume. What prize could ever be worth the price you paid? You lost everything. Ha, but I am sure there is something you want to know. An answer, isn't it? Look into me, and I shall gift you everlasting truth. Take a step inside. Very well. Well, we had no choice, did we? God. Okay, all right. Sure. Sure, okay. If you say so. This got really yes, a quote by Nietzsche. This got really deep really quickly. You will always be the hero. Act 1 blank canvas. Okay. You go far back. Your mind starts racing into the most painful and meaningful memories of your travels. Images overlap, fragments of experience that shaped you, moments that changed you forever. Inside an old tavern where the voices are sizzling and drinks are spilling everywhere, a young hero and an old knight are talking animously. Animously or animated? Is animously a word? I just want to search to see if it is. Animously. Technically it is, but I don't know if that's what the author thought of animatedly. I don't know. Oh, fun sketch. Even on a weekday, yes. You've grown so much. Just yesterday you were a baby. You did nothing but cry. Remember when you pissed your pants to avoid your training? Don't talk about that here. It's embarrassing. Ha 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 ha. Come on, I'm just poking at you. It's been some time since we last saw each other. Have some mercy on this old man. Ah, hero of the realm in search of the Demon King. You've come a long way, huh? How's your journey going, boy? I'm still deciding what direction to take from this town. It's difficult to rest while traveling alone. Good, then go find yourself someone who can help you in your journey. I can take care of myself. I don't want to put my burden onto someone else. That would be selfish. Not a matter of being selfish. We all have our weaknesses. You, me, everyone. No one is invincible, and well, that's where our dear companions come in, filling our gaps. Or maybe I don't have those gaps you're babbling about. Haha, then you would be the warrior among warriors, my boy. But don't overestimate yourself. We all have our shortcomings, some bigger, some smaller, and one thing is certain. We all pay for the choices we make. Okay. Oh, that was Act 1? Act 2, Tainted. Okay. It's got a sketch of a person. Are you having fun? Yeah. 1 year later. Oh, it's a real... In the midst of a dense forest where the light of the setting sun barely filters through the treetops, our hero advances along a dirt path. The air is imbued with the scent of moss and solemn calm that precedes the night, but the stillness is broken. On the horizon, beyond the dense tangle of branches, a thin column of smoke rises, a sinuous like a bad omen. The acrid smell creeps through the foliage. Without hesitation, the hero sprints towards the threat. His steps become swift, determined, as the forest seems to bend to his passage. But before reaching the source of the smoke, the ground vibrates. A horde of demons emerges from the edges of the shadows. Dozens of creatures in purple shining armor with burning eyes and pointy horns marching towards the village. With a fluid movement, the hero draws his sword, shining in the last light of the day. He stands before the horde, firm as a rock, and with a confident voice proclaims, "You will not harm the innocents, not as long as I am standing." Piffed, ha ha ha. Are you for real, kid? Do you know who I am? No. The warrior among warriors, the one and only captain of the demon horde. A true warrior. Alright then. You shall know defeat, evil captain of the demon horde. Yes, I like your spirit, kid. I will honor you with a true warrior's death. Yeah, get him, boss. Just you ruin our demonic aura, dude. Sorry, boss. Well, should we fight then? Oh, more fighting. I see. They reveal the enemy's hand. Circle and 3 squares. Let me just note that down. Circle, square times 3. Okay. Okay. And what's the thing again? Triangle and circle are good against those. Just 3 squares now. Circle is good against squares. Then use this one. Okay. Why wasn't that card in my hand before? I'm still struggling to try and find a way to like manage my hand in a way where I can bring good cards in and discard bad cards out. Even like a discard card type thing, draw card type deal. You know, that's what roguelike... Oh, sorry, my voice. Yeah, that's what roguelike, card games usually do. But I don't know how to sort of... sort of do that here. Triangle, 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 circle, circle. Okay. Because even if you do find out what the other person has, you will always still... Well, I guess you can do some things to change, but a triangle here would be good to use. Yeah, triangle and then triangle again. Okay. Cool. And then trade, because that's the only one I have left, obviously. Oh, yeah, see, a lot of these screens, I don't know whether I'm supposed to press something, but I guess my strategy of mostly just choosing random cards is winning. I don't know why we have that selection phase, because we're only ever playing one card at a time. So shouldn't you just auto-select that same, card? I don't know what's wrong with it. I mean, not what's wrong, but like, I don't know what's happening. There we go, we won. I just chose whatever card was at the beginning. Heh, not bad, not bad. You've got lucky today, you will live for now. I literally did get lucky, or I just had better stats. The next time I will surely kill you, so become a true warrior, on guard. What? And just like that, the horde of demons vanished in their very own shadow, leaving nothing but wind in their trail. Upon the hero's arrival, he finds himself at the gates of a decaying village. In the center of the square, a maiden is bound on a stake. The villagers cathartically contemplate the pyre in a circle with pitchforks and torches, chanting prayers in a dissonant cacophony. There's a lot of words, but basically they're just burning him. Judging by the fog created by the smoke around the village was right is something they do often. Oh, is it because smoke turns into fog? I didn't know that. Oh, it looks like there's, a map. Random. Oh, that's okay. There's a map here. Okay. What are you all doing? Cool battlers and stuff and cool style. The hero. What happened here? The woman, we've seen her several times talking to the demonic horde. Our fields are empty. Nothing grows anymore. The gods have abandoned us. The gods, they surely believe we are in league with the horde. We have to do this to restore their faith in us. Hey, listen everyone, it is a difficult time for everyone. Let's look at ourselves. We are all exhausted. Our vision could falter. Our judgment could be blurry. Hero, we are at the crossroad. If we don't do something, it will be the end for all of us. Sorry. There is clearly a lot of effort put into the tiles and the battle system here and the heroes and stuff and to subvert expectations. But it's just like the narrative thread rolling through it's just a bit random. It goes from one place to the next, and it does big time jumps, which is always a risk. So you sort of have to know whether you're good at telling a narrative in order to do all these wild things with the narrative. Otherwise, it can just end up feeling like a bit fragmented, which this game is currently feeling like. Particularly since the battles themselves, I can't seem to find a through line of strategy with them. So that too is kind of bearing a hard point on it. Yeah, it's got a unique feeling to it, but just a bit of coherence would be nice, you know. I see you, tired, angry, yearning for a change no matter the cost, even if it means losing yourselves. Have faith. You don't have to wait much longer. Before long, I will eradicate the Horde and with it their diabolical king. Be patient. Patient? Patient? You are the one telling us to be patient. You think you understand what we have been through? You who lived inside a huge, luxurious castle protected by its massive walls with meals ready at the snap of a finger? You never suffered hunger or cold for a single day in your life. Do you think you could understand us? He's right, we suffered through hell to serve this kingdom, to serve you, and yet our gods have abandoned us. The flames dance high, casting monstrous shadows on the faces of the inhabitants who grow tighter and tighter. A growling howl rises from the crowd. He doesn't understand. He has no idea what it's like to survive here. The pitchforks shake, no one retreats. The fear is tangible, the hatred palpable. Yeah, well, if the fear is tangible, the hatred is... It's just a lot of words, I'm sorry. Let the maiden go and stand back, I beg you. Stand back? Or else what will you do, hero? Are you going to taint yourself for a witch? The hero slowly draws his sword, the metallic sound cutting through the air. His eyes are fixed on the crowd. Evil... Oh, he's got shadow on his face. Evil, what you are all doing is evil, that is unquestionable. The hero is firm, his gaze resolute. There will be no stepping back. My duty is to eradicate evil. I will not make any exceptions. You think we are scared of you, kid? We're gonna gut you like a pig. Okay. Or maybe it's that we are some kind of anti-hero, I don't know. I'm just going to choose the first card. Hey, I missed the first game played. Ah, I see. Nice. I mean, sorry. Welcome in, Steel. Welcome. How's it going? This might be my last game because I'm only playing a couple games and I think it's getting late for me, so I'm sort of just pushing through. Yeah. I'm doing good. I'm okay. I might be a little tired. But that's fine. Are we allowed to peek at the other person? No, we're not? Okay, so we just have to operate on mostly not really knowing what they have in their hand. Okay. It is better if we have at least one reveal card, but we don't have any control over the deck or how we draw from the deck. So we're just kind of playing without any knowledge. Oh, there we go. There's the vision one. Okay. So let's see. Let's see what they have. Triangle, triangle, circle. Triangle, triangle, circle, which means with us, a triangle is the strongest, okay? Yeah, so let's play some triangle stuff. We don't want them to become circle, so let's make the enemy... yeah, see, all of my cards will either change my hand or their hand, so it doesn't really matter whether what I play there. And we don't know what they have now, so it doesn't really matter what we play, it's just a randomized battle. Sorry if it doesn't really come across it. I'm really not understanding this battle system. I know technically how it works, but I don't know how to create strategies because most of the time you don't actually know the other person's cards, and when you do, something happens that will shuffle either your cards or the other cards in a way that just doesn't make sense in my opinion. Because like, for example, okay, here, let me go through this. Trade. If you and your enemy redraw one card from their hand, why would that be good for us? Do we know if that's going to be good for us? Because I don't know what they have, so how am I supposed to get the card that will beat them? Remove one of your enemy's cards. All your cards in hand become circle. So you really don't know, unless maybe this one is like a, you know, an objective. Oh, we take away a card from their hand, so it's fine. Maybe that's just better than nothing, you know? Oops, there we go. And then they just shuffle our entire hand. So how are we supposed to, you know, practice around that? So I just kind of, you know, just playing decent looking cards, I guess, and hoping for the best, because the decks get shuffled around all the time, you know, for seemingly very little reason. Anyway, I won't harp on about it too much, but it is a reason why I'm feeling a little bit detached from the game. Because it's like, strategy is good for gameplay. But if you can't strategize, then it's just randomly playing cards and hoping for the best. And I don't really feel incentivized to try and strategize, because random generation will sort of put me back. It'll just I'll plan something, and then the cards will be randomized, and then the plans will be for nothing. You know. Anyway, that's how I feel. This is not a game of strategy; it's a game of chance. Yeah, I started feeling that way, and it requires your input every time. You sort of just select. Oh, there we go. I won. I didn't really use too much strategy there. Anyways, days later, a hooded figure makes its way at the gates of a silent village adorned with skeins of rotten flesh, brushstrokes of red on the rotting buildings. Dozens of corpses compose a macabre picture operated by a mysterious murderer. And also, the story is quite dark and surreal, with humor at the beginning, and I thought it was going to be a funny game, like a joke game, but no, this is like some serious, like, oh, I don't know, reset, the anti-hero, cloud, you know, darkness goes over their face. It could be being, you know, ironic. It could be being ironic, but somehow the execution, it doesn't quite come across. The irony or sarcasm isn't quite coming across to me, so I don't know why that is. But if it's not ironic, see, it's just like an image of slaughter, and it's quite graphic. So maybe this isn't a joke. Maybe this is a serious, grimdark hero's tale. Realistic blood, though. I mean, well, crap. Seems like we're going after a new prey after all this time. Are you ready, brother? Okay, so this is an interesting. You got this interesting villain and their brother, which is the eyes. Then let the hunt begin. Act 3, paint it, red. After the massacre at the village, the young witch began to follow the hero. She never said a word. He didn't ask why. There was something about the way she walked, purposeful, quiet, that made questions feel unnecessary. They moved from one region to the next, cutting their way through every threat that came at them. With each battle, they became stronger and deadlier. At night, they always searched for a place to rest. The hero would light the fire, then sit down and start cleaning the blood from his gear. His hands would shake, not from fear, but from something deeper, something worn and half buried. He'd stare at his sword like it was an old friend he no longer trusted. I don't want this to come across too much like an insult, but a lot of this comes across as kind of teenage edgy. In a way that's a little bit off-putting to me, because I thought, you know, first I thought it was a joke, because it was like, hey, here's this, but like, no, I think it's quite serious. I can't tell whether they're trying to come across as like an anti-hero. We'll see. The witch would find a spot nearby, pull out her small journal and start writing. She did it the same way every night, like it was part of some quiet ritual. No words were exchanged. They didn't need to be. Sometimes she'd take care of his wounds, moving with the same calm precision she had in battle. When she did, it was like pulling him back from somewhere dark. He always smiled at her afterward, a simple, honest smile. It said more than anything he could have put into words. And yeah, I'm sure all of this writing is original, but it does sound like the way that ChatGPT writes. And I don't want to accuse anything, but it does sound sort of like that. And if this is original writing, it's just saying that ChatGPT writes in a certain way, and your writing sounds like how that sounds. He cooked. It was his job, because it's usually quite cheesy like this. Oh, I'm being a bit harsh again, aren't I? His way of giving something back. Meals weren't grand, just enough to keep them going, but he put care into them. Maybe that was his magic, small things done right. That is the way it writes. 2 years passed like that, blood, silence, firelight, and finally they stood on the edge of the demon continent. Beings taking ChatGPT is better than your insult to the next level. No, it's not really. I just have the same feeling I get when I write stuff written by it. One night atop a windswept promontory under a starlit sky. See, what's a promontory? A point of highland that juts out onto the sea or large lake, a headland. Like, who would use promontory? I don't know. Anyway, it's just I'm assuming original writing, and if it is, which I'm assuming it is, that word is just a little too flowery in my opinion to be effective. Anyway. Nice drawing though. The stars, I like to think of them as the tears of the moon looking down on us from afar and weeping for us in all the sins we have committed. See, I feel like this isn't earned, but that's just me. So you do have a voice after all, and a poetic one at that. Sorry. Anyway, tell me, Sir Hero, what drove you from your great castle to these desolate, cursed lands? See, this is a cool looking sword. I see someone landing on promontory if they were looking up synonyms of cliff. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, the timer is still going, by the way. I just tabbed out by accident, so it wasn't showing on the screen. It'd be rude. Yeah, game convinced me I should care for this story. It does seem a little interesting, weirdly structured, where it's jumped to the end as a point of the game, and then back to the beginning, but a lot of the edgy and bloody things that happened are quite intense. So it has the effect of, we haven't really got to know who the characters are, except for the mage has been like, and we were silent, and because we knew that we had to be silent. But in a story, it doesn't quite work that way. You sort of have to care about a person's weakness before you start caring about them as a character. And I know someone might come back with the, interjection of, you don't need to care about all characters, especially anti-heroes, especially if they're, they've done bad things in their past. But in my opinion, if they are bad people, or if they are people who have done bad things, you probably need to do even more of that work of providing relatability, even in spite of how hated they might be for their actions. Long ago I came here with my master. He called it the final trial of my training, said we were searching for something called wisdom. Is that actual wisdom or like a object? We climbed one of these very peaks, and there he asked me, what makes this wretched world worth living in? At that time I didn't have an answer, but now I think I've found one. We were born into despair, yet we keep searching deep within the darkness for that fragile glimmer we call hope. Yet that struggle in itself is beautiful. I think this definitely doesn't feel like ChatGPT. This feels like real. This feels like a personal writing. Take with that as you will. It feels like two different authors writing this. That's the only reason why I feel that way. We cry, we love, we laugh. The people of this world and their imperfections are what makes this world worth living in, and I would do anything to give them that glimmer of hope. Oh, sorry, I tend to talk too much sometimes. Do not worry, Sir Hero. And you, milady, what is it you seek at the end of this journey? The one thing no blade, no flame, no god nor demon can take from me. The answer to the question every soul cries out as they suffer. Why? Truth. Sorry. Then we're not so different, you and I. Hope and truth, twin stars in the same sky. My journey is nearing its end. Not far from here stands the Demon King. I came to end him. Will you stand beside me one last time? I'd care about this if we had been through like a 40-hour RPG with them, but they're only exchanging platitudes, and I know neither of them nor care about either of them. If I am to be quite honest, I'm sorry. And your job as a storyteller is to engage in the traditional narrative that we all share of getting to know someone by building up their personality bit by bit, slyly, through non-obvious techniques, instead of just coming straight to a payoff. The payoffs don't happen without all the build-up. Even if the idea of this beyond expectation structure wants to say so, I promise to stand by your side until the end of your journey, Sir Hero. Sir Hero? A week later, the heroes reached the last leg of their journey, the path that led to the Demon King's castle. It's unnecessarily long for me. While VN is not my cup of tea. The thing is, VN is absolutely my cup of tea. I love visual novels. I love novels. I mean, I love film. That is my cup of tea. This is primarily a visual novel with battles, and I love that genre. There's just things about this writing that are not gripping to me, and make a lot of narrative mistakes, in my opinion. You know, that's what I think. It's not necessarily it's long. I've read Umineko When They Cry. That's 1,000,000 words long. It took me 100 hours to get through that, and I think it's one of my favorite narratives of all time. I don't mind long text. I just, yeah, it just needs to be good writing. I'm sorry. For them opened the forest of mist, an ancient or cursed place where a single narrow track of dirt snaked through the trees. And by quote-unquote good, I just mean there's like a dramatic thrust and a style and a verve that comes with writing that needs to be respected and practiced. Like me, I understand enough about writing to know that I have a lot of weaknesses, and trying something like this would be very difficult. You sort of need to write within your means and learn how to write to an audience and have that audience respond and get feedback from it before you try big swings, in my opinion. Writing is difficult. Writing is usually a lot more difficult than people think, you know? So just try with the smaller stuff first. That'll be my advice. Try with the smaller stuff. Don't go for the big swings of epic this, that, you know. Just try to be conventional first and get the conventional basics down before going to some of these more... Yeah, keep it simple first and get good at writing simple, and then you can try these, you know, fragmented narratives that some of these... awesome, authors, they already know how to do it because they know the basics of dramatism. I don't know. Anyone who dared to stray from the path will be lost forever. The rain fell incessantly, drumming on the soaked equipment of the two, while the fog grew thicker and thicker as if to engulf them. See, this feels like it was written by a different person than that which wrote the dialogue. Our heroes advance cautiously, step by step, because also, additionally, there's no grammatical errors and there's no spelling errors. But there were in the other one. Their breaths, laboured, seemed to echo louder than what was possible. The silence of the forest was unreal, deafening, as if even the birds had forgotten their song. Then something, a shadow in the distance, motionless. The body slumped in the middle of the path. The purple armour, the curved horns, no doubt a demon. But he was alone, and he looked wounded, sitting on the ground, head down. An instant of hesitation, then the heart starts beating faster again. Okay. This demon different from the others. He is the captain of the demonic legion, the one and only. Cough, cough. Do I really have to see your ugly face before going out? You have changed. Alas, you've become a true warrior too, I see. See, the person that wrote this, why does all the narrative stuff have, like, perfect grammar with all the commas in the right places? And this doesn't have a capital or a comma after the to or a full stop after the I see. I would have liked to taste the edge of your blade one more time. Sorry, that turn of phrase. Okay, I'm being quite harsh and I have to keep positive. There are good art in this. There is good art. The pixel size here is inconsistent, but that's fine. Whoa, that tree is massive. The pixels on that tree is massive. On guard, warrior. And these portraits are really good. They're really good. Use arrow keys. Oh, we can move now? We haven't been able to move for a while. It's like I'm playing 5 different games, I feel. Taste the edge of... I wish to taste the edge of your blade one more time, apparently. Oh, to ingest your blade. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Whoa, there's lots of these guys. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What's a good thing? The inconsistent pixel sizes. Whoa, that guy's massive. See, this art is like pretty good. It's funny that this art is actually really, really good. Like it reminds me of of like Pizza Towel or something. And that's really good. Like the quality of the art itself is really good. But then you get this, which is like a massive tree, and look at the pixels are each like 4. Yeah, it's like playing 5 different games by 5 different. Oh, what if there's multiple authors? That might be a good explanation. The mixture of different tile sets with different character art. Yeah, it's just a little inconsistent throughout, I think. What was that? Chain game. It could be a chain game. Been some time, hasn't it? You've done enough. Let's go home. It's sometimes what it feels like is that different people made different things. Step aside. That I can't do, I'm sorry. Why? Why do you always stand in my way, Gramps? I'm so close. I can change everything. I will get rid of all these rotten demons. I will finally bring hope to this God's forsaken world. Hope built on blood is just more ruin. This crusade, it's eating you alive. Yeah, I think there's a certain phenomenon that you need to be aware of, I think, that's like this idea of teenage angst is quite codified to the point where it's easy to cringe at sometimes, where it's like, you've done bad things. Oh, well, I'll stop you. And then the darkness comes over their face and they... you know, the hero's laughing because they know all, and they know they've seen far beyond what the enemy could ever see. You know, it's a thin line to tread across because it can be entertaining, but you just need to be able to write a story first before you even go there. So just be sure that you can write a normal story before going the full edgy mode. That's my opinion. Like, just, yeah, anyway. So that's, I knew it. You don't want the Demon King dead because of that thing you keep by your side, right? That ugly demon would vanish along with all the rest of them, wouldn't it? What happened to you, boy? I won't ask again. Get out of my way. You leave me with no choice, huh? Very well, boy. How about one last sparring lesson? I'll carry the weight of what you've become, even if it means killing you. Oh, we're on this side now. Why are we from the enemy's point of view? Trap. Your enemy's hand cards become trap. You get a free... Okay. There's some interesting things about this battle system, like that trap. You know, those chains look cool. I just wish they were in a game that was more refined. That's all. That's the one. That's what this game kind of gives to me. Is it's quite seems quite unrefined in general. There's just a lot of ideas, you know, and they make it. They're so ambitious, but I'm like, get the basics right first. Try and get the basics right. And I know that the theme was technically beyond expectations, but if you don't think you can do, you know, try and do something more within a certain theme. If you don't think you can, you know, get all the themes together in one bunch, you know, otherwise it's a little too scattered, you know. But there is promises here. Let me say that there is promise here. Like there is promise of something that you can do here with all this knowledge. And there are ideas certainly here. They just need to be refined and practiced. That's all. Refine and practice. Try to build the characters well before they come to the conflicts. Try not to go too far in the payoff. I feel it's going way into the payoff zone. This is like the end. Yeah, this is like the end of like a, you know, endless quest. And I know maybe it's trying to parody that, but you also need to have good constitution to be able to parody something like that. I don't know. I've gone on about. I think you understand what I mean. If you have any questions, feel free to ask your friends. I was hoping some games doing a full circle. No one expect an RTP hero journey with beyond expectation theme. Yeah, yeah, it'll be interesting in a way, right, Rhyme? But that would, I don't know if that would, there has been one entry which was sort of like that, where it's like, oh, you are, you know, a traditional RPG, but it's like, oh, but we subvert it in that it's a parody. But, you know, you still have to maintain the theme in some way. because otherwise basically the idea of the theme for me, from my point of view, is that you are confirming to us that you have made the game for this jam, basically. And as long as you can do that, and then you get minimum points, and then beyond that you get points for how clever you are. I'm very sorry about it went away. Why are we fighting the hero? It is yet to be determined. It seems to be maybe planned to be some sort of point of view switch, which, to be fair, I admire how much it is, you know, beholden to the Beyond Expectations theme. So in the theme area, I do think this game is committing quite hard in the theme area. So I'm very happy that the game sort of decided to go the theme route of being very, you know, being somewhat quite faithful to the theme of having everything be beyond expectations. The month early announcement of the theme adds a level of difficulty to the determination, I'm sure. Maybe, perhaps, but it also just means that if you had 2 months, 1 month to think about the theme and then 1 month to make the game, and your game still doesn't have a perceivable, you know, theme in it according to the theme, adherence to the theme beyond expectations, you had 2 months basically. So some judges seem to have a different interpretation of beyond expectation. So here's the thing, is that every judge is subjective, right? So we have our subjective judgments of things, and we have to do it according to our experience, and we have to interpret it according to our experience. The ideal entry will leave no ambiguity about whether it approached the theme, especially since you were told well beforehand that the theme, you know, so part of the jam is to try and evoke the theme in the minds. I'm quite charitable with the theme. As long as something is surprising, then I'll sort of give it minimum points, you know, and how, you know, and then some games it's been absolutely clear, and those are my favorite ones, because it's like, and I'm sure others will agree. I've seen them agree, you know, that certain games are, you know, yeah. So that's why we have, you know, several judges do each game. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it is a subjective process, and we're doing the best we can to be as fair as possible. If you made a functioning game in a jam, it's beyond. Yeah, in that way, yes. If you made a functioning game in the jam, then that is a very lovely thing, and I keep having to remember that. Thank you for making games. You know, you are awesome, and I'm tired. I'm a tired old grump, and I'm being very you know, it's my job to judge, so I have to somewhat be a little straight to the point, you know. But at the end of the day, you've made a game. Every game is a gift, and I appreciate that very much. It's just like Animal Farm, though. Some gifts are more giftier than others. I'm just kidding, you know. One thing is that these battles, also while being quite, you know, they're taking quite long. I'm being harsh. Yes, I'm being harsh, though. One person at one point said Nova was harsh. One person at one point said the word harsh. I if anything, I know I can be harsh. Nova is a brat. No, I believe Nova is also Brat by Charlie XCX standard as well. Charlie XCX standards. Nova is Brat, and Zendaya is Michi. Yeah, I'm still up Stoic, but by the way, this is my second game I've played. So both games took about an hour. That's the pacing of things. Charlie XD, Charlie XCX. Charlie XCX. My favorite pop star. She had a great year this year, and she had an album called Brat, and that people started calling everything Brat. So Nova is Brat, and Zendaya is Michi. That's another meme. I am memed out. I am online. Chronically online, Benny, they call me. there's just so much to do in the battles here. I just want to try and get through it, you know. And mind you, I've played like 70, 80 hours of Slay the Spire. I do like card games. Red is starting to change its meaning. It's just a branding thing that happened partially accidentally that they took charge of, you know. And then they it was a good marketing push. But anyone not interested in that type of music will find it baffling, of course. Anyway, how do I... Battles in this game are just also very, very long. Very, very long, and... I'm still doing the same battle, and it's taking a long time. The timer might expire before. That's how every word changes meaning. Branding. In a very stretched sense. Yes. I suppose so. If by branding you mean, yeah, like someone branding a meaning with a new word or utterance, then yes. Branding, it could be considered branding. Every word, every process of figuring out any definition of a word was a form of branding. So many cards. My brain is going to become cards. If you're wondering what I'm actually doing with these cards, none of your business. No, sorry, I don't know either. I mean, I technically know, but I've given up on any sense of trying to find a strategy because of reasons I've stated before. The cards change too much, in short. I have nothing left to say. I am a husk of a human being. I have become emptied of all my parts. Wait, that sound... I don't know. Emptied of all my joy, and thus I shall be poured into the void. Just kidding. I'm here. My name is Benny, otherwise known as Cash, and I love you. How is everyone going? What are you eating? What is everyone eating right now? Is everyone eating some crackers or something? Oh, Vicious Stella did an update. Everyone eating some yummy crackers today? I feel like eating something. I feel like eating something scrumptious. Yum, yum, yum. Yum for my tum. Eating something scrumptious. That is the one. So yeah, I have this idea. I want to make a game in Unity, in RPG Maker Unite, on stream for a week, and see what happens. You're eating a croque, monsieur? A croquet? A croquet, monsieur. You are eating the croquet, are you? Okay, that was a bad. I didn't like the are you. Thou art eating croquet. Oh my goodness, my goodness. A croquet with some coffee in it. Eating super spicy noodles. Yum, 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 yum. I want food now. I want food right now. At a Panera Bread, no less. Oh, jolly good Panera Bread, my chap old lad. How I long for Panera Bread myself, with some dip and some Strasbourg sausages, some Gouda cheese, or perhaps a cracker with some feta on it and a tiny tomato. Or perhaps a spinach roll. with some spicy tomato sauce and an olive. This game feels like a dream. Am I in a dream? I'm dissociating. Forgot you're playing game. Yeah, I'm just playing a game, but like a dream you want to wake up from? Hey, depends. Depends what's at the end of the rainbow. Oh, I lost. Game over. Oh, man. Ooh. Have to do that battle again? Yeah, we do. Let me out. Let me out. We've got 1 minute left. I think that battle honestly took like 10 to 20 minutes. And we weren't really making too much progress. Okay, let's see this cutscene again to see to cap off our experience. Oh, fancy. It's been some time, hasn't it? You've done enough. Let's go home. Step aside. That I can't do, I'm sorry. Why? Why do you always stand in my way, Gramps? I'm so close. I can change everything. I will get rid of all these rotten demons. I will finally bring hope to this God's forsaken world. Hope built on blood is just more ruin. This crusade, it's eating you alive. Ha, ha, ha. So that's it, I knew it. You don't want the Demon King dead because of that thing you keep by your side, right? That ugly demon would vanish along with all the rest of them, wouldn't it? What happened to you, boy? I want to guess. Okay, alright. Time is up. Ooh. Endless Quest 12. Let's start with the positives. Interesting concept. The art was unique. It had an interesting build-up that had me wanting to see a particular game that was promising. The idea of going between like the card game and the different modes was quite a ambitious idea, and I like ambition. What else? The amount of effort it must have taken to make this game is very high. Because there's a lot of custom drawings and there's a lot of writing and a lot of stuff in there, that the amount of effort to make this game is considerable. So well done on that. I like the title, Endless Quest 12. Some of the things that may have been a little bit middling to me to sort of work on, maybe I'll go with the obvious ones. The overall narrative structure to me was very confusing. I did not feel for any of the characters. I did not really know what was going on spiritually as the through line for this. And as it went on, some things started to happen that were quite edgy and violent, and I didn't really have any basis to care about, and it just kind of felt a little bit off to me. There were a lot of narrative techniques employed here that were kind of seemingly inconsistent. Some narrative portions that were quite flowery, and then some very emotional, payoffs that you would see at the end of like a 40-hour RPG, but with no seeming irony. Yeah, Stoic says the series really fell off after Endless Quest 7. I don't know. Yeah, I suppose so. We played all those on stream, right? All of the Endless Quests. But yeah, even this thing of like continue at the beginning, it was quite a funny little concept, right? But yeah, I just think that it just needs a little bit more refining, make more games, tell more stories, and get more feedback. And then you'll be able to more, maybe deftly sort of explore certain aspects of narrative storytelling. The ambition was very high, but I feel like it was maybe a little bit outside of the abilities of the storyteller, if I am to be quite frank, that the storyteller can kind of build their storytelling chops over time by telling smaller stories, more conventional stories. This one was a little bit all over the place, if I'm to say it, but at least it was trying something, that's the very least. And I appreciate the amount of effort that went into it, and every game is a gift. So thank you for making it. Endless Quest 12, yeah, awesome. So I had mixed thoughts about this game, but I do hope that the game developer keeps making games and honing their craft, because it's worthwhile. Yeah. Okay, so let's go with Endless Quest 12 theme. Is this really a series we're on 12? No, it's not a series. No. The gag, so as I'm going to sort of do comments on each of the categories while I make my private scores. The gag here, I believe, is that it's called Endless Quest 12, but there are no other Endless Quests. I thought it was going to be a parody on like Final Fantasy type games, you know, Endless Quest, Final Fantasy. But then it didn't come across as a joke. And then I was like, oh, this feels very serious and very surreal. But either way, thematically, it did seem to go beyond expectations. There was a change in gameplay style very frequently. So I think at the very least, the strongest thing about this game is that it engaged in the thematic bucking of expectations every few, moments. But it did it outside of the thematic push. It did it in such a way that I feel made the game suffer as a whole. So it's like the yin and yang of such a thing. So very on point with the thematic bucking of expectations, even if the constant shifting made the overall game suffer as a whole, in my opinion. But at the very least, the developer was well aware of the theme and made sure to surprise with every movement. Okay, gameplay. I'd say gameplay, there is a base level of skill required to make an event a game like this, particularly the card minigame, that is worth considering. It is difficult to make a system like this. It's just that the balance of the card game, I felt, was difficult to, strategize around, when so many of the cards revolved around mixing up the entirety of both hands. So I couldn't really feel to strategize in any perceivable way, unless I was okay with that strategy just disappearing the next moment because of a shuffling card. Yeah, I think that was it. And then the battles also took a really, really long time oftentimes, which made them feel like a slog. Yeah, there we go. Engagement. Maybe in the first 5 to 10 minutes, I was engaged in how the story and the gameplay was being introduced. But over time, the storytelling, narrative beats, characters, and such just became more and more scattershot. And my attention span waned, particularly due to the long battles, the edgy dialogue, the oftentimes edgy dialogue and events that were not backed by skillful and mature storytelling. More stories told by this developer would hone their storytelling into a skill that more befits this type of narrative. Okay, presentation. Battlers' portraits and pictures were actually very cool, but oftentimes maps had sprites that had mismatched pixel resolutions. The battle scene itself also contained a lot of really cool art, but the way that cards moved around and their logos and such sometimes felt quite plain and difficult to understand how the visuals... I can't... Yeah. Difficult to understand. I guess something like that. Yeah. Polish. I think no bugs. I don't think there were any bugs. Yeah. Cool. That's this game. Thank you so much for making this game. Every game is a gift, and I'm thankful that you made it. Even in spite of my criticisms, I hope that you can understand that I'm doing so because I'm a judge of this RPG Maker Game Jam 2025, and I really hope that your game dev journey is fulfilling and worthwhile, and I hope that you keep making games as long as it makes you happy. You're awesome. Keep doing so. Thank you for joining this jam. Very, very much appreciated. Keep being awesome, and that's me out. Bye.